All right, so this is your first double play. What did you learn from Nebraska the first time you saw him?
Yeah, well, we were obviously in a good spot in the game, with 13, 14 minutes to go, up 14 points. And then obviously we were, after you went back and watched it 2 or 3 times, we got some pretty good shots, and we're in a situation, obviously, when you're getting good shots and you're missing good shots, like what should you change when they're taking something away? And so, we had some breakdowns defensively. I thought, especially late in the game, like we just kind of feeling our way through some of their action when they know they were going to it when they needed to score. And we had some breakdowns. We fouled the 3-point shooter probably 3 times, off the top of my head, and just kind of handed them some points. You got to give them credit for executing, but you can't foul 3-point shooters, and one went in and the other 2 didn't. So you don't want to send people to the free throw line to be able to do that. So the thing that probably jumps out more than anything is probably their 19 offensive rebounds. They did a great job of getting on the glass, and they took some tough shots. They drive in, they took some tough threes, and with that, sometimes you have some rebounds that just aren't traditional, and you got to be able to get them. And I think that's going to be a big key in our game is trying to keep them out of the lane, because a lot of their penetration gets them to the free throw line. A lot of their penetration sets up other guys on their team for open shots. So being able to, keep the ball in front of us and also be able to rebound the ball.
The team shot the ball pretty well the last game and a half or so. Is that anything to that, or is that just the universe balancing itself out, or what do you?
I don't think there's anything to it. I think we're, when you struggle shooting the basketball, you got to go back and dissect, are you getting the shots that you want? And you can't control everything. As a matter of fact, sometimes you can't control anything, but there are some things, you got to try to manipulate the defense however they're trying to guard your guys. And then when you get some good ones and you miss it, I've always tried to stay process-based and just be positive, especially the people shooting them are capable of making them. So, I just think that some shots are going down. Water's going to find its level, right, with people that can shoot, that are struggling a little bit. And now we've made some. We haven't went crazy or anything, but we've obviously been more consistent the last couple games.
When you play a team the second time in a season, do you have to resist the urge to outthink yourself? This worked last time, so maybe they're going to adjust to it this time.
Right. No, you definitely throw something out there when something works. You want to see what the adjustment's going to be. Sometimes it's obvious, sometimes it's not. Sometimes it can be some subtle things or small things. Or is that what they intended to do? Sometimes players will kind of do their own thing and defend something maybe that the coach didn't want. So, you don't try to overthink things, but you also got to trust your instincts, especially as the game goes along. Like, you think, hey, these things are going to work. Then you get in the game and, maybe they do, maybe they don't. But things will pop up during the course of a game, and you got to trust your instincts to be able to go to them when you see an advantage.
This was sort of the game where it seemed like they had 4 guys guarding Zach at all times.
Yeah.
Do you have to expect the same thing, or do you figure they'll do something different?
No, they will do the same thing. It's what they do. And so, like, how they defend the post, like how they defended Indiana, how they defended, every team that they've played, they come with a low man on a double side. And they come with a low man when they double in the post. So that's, no matter if you post up at 18 feet or you post up at 4 feet, that's what they're going to do. And, the game before us, Indiana did a really good job of spacing them, and then Indiana knocked down some shots. And then the difference in our game was we didn't knock down some shots. And so then it gets to be result-based, and you can't be that way. You got to stay process-based. If you're getting good shots, keep doing what you're doing. You hope that you can knock down some more shots and help extend that lead. We weren't able to do that, and then obviously it became a really close game.
Fletcher struggled against Ohio State in the first half, great in the second half. Didn't really get shots in the flow of the offense at Penn State. Great second half. Is he a guy that's better when the game's tight, when it's on the line, maybe in those clutch situations?
Yeah, but like in a lot of our games this year, he seems to be a guy, and not in those games, that gets a lot of opportunities early in a game. Like, he seems to get 2-3 shots in the first 3-4 minutes of a game, and so just taking what the defense gives you, more than anything. For him, But he's been really aggressive in those second halves, and that's what we need him to be. Just take what the defense gives you and stay aggressive, because obviously he's not just a guy that can make jump shots. He can put the ball on the floor and help out his teammates, but also make plays for himself.
How rare is that for a freshman who's maybe not your number one offensive option to want the ball in those situations when it's the game on the line?
Yeah, but we've also, Zach's done a good job in Rutgers, and Zach did a good job in Ohio State of making good decisions and putting him in a position. The one that he made against Rutgers was actually a rotation from Braden, and then the one against Ohio State was just an in and out. So, just like I said, just taking what they give you, and we have really good balance. But when you got like weapons, like other day when Braden had a lot of success in the ball screen, high ball screen action, like we just didn't go away from it. When you see something like that you're getting a lot of mileage out of it, you just stick with it. But you like to have overall balance, but things aren't perfect.
Braden scoring the way he scored lately, how much does that open things up for your offense?
Well, it also opens up if people are going to be in complete drops and just give him a pull-up.
Yeah,
so
right.
He's been able to, obviously get to the basket and make the right reads all year. But if they're going to give him that pull-up in those deep drops, he's got to keep taking them, whether those are threes or twos.
They were kind of leaning into him a little bit, weren't they, against Penn State? That kind of opened up the lob.
Yes. Yeah. Well, he had the lob and he had his pull-up. He got to the rim a couple times. He had a couple spray-out threes, and so he was getting a variety of stuff off of that high post.
Can you just kind of put his last two games into context for us? Obviously, he struggled against Rutgers, and he's been great the last two games. Seems like.
Well, yeah, I think he's just had more energy. I don't think he had very good energy against Rutgers, and then when things went wrong, he just kind of went with the flow of that. You got to find your energy and play through some tough moments, and so you can make it better. And you just got to bounce back quicker. And I thought he did that in those last two games. He just kept playing. Just moved to the next play.
Obviously, Ethan Morton had a lot of opportunities against Ohio State, shooting on the perimeter. And then he comes in the next game against Penn State and doesn't, have as many opportunities. Just are those things that you want to see more of him doing, just taking those opportunities, like you said, and in combination, obviously, with the things that he does defensively?
Yeah, when they present themselves.
Right.
And at times when you struggle, it's hard to do it with people that are confident in their own abilities. But when you struggle, like, now you got to probe the defense a little bit more. You got to be a little bit more patient. Ethan understands those things. He obviously hasn't shot the ball as well as he would like. He obviously shot a better clip last year, but he's capable. So like when he's open right there, step in and knock those shots down.
What has Ethan Morton's role been defensively, and how important that has been for the team?
Yeah, well, it depends on the other team, like in who we want to put him on. We kept him on Pickett, but we did a lot of switching, so Pickett actually scored probably a handful of his baskets against other people. But he's got good size, and so he can guard a lot of different people. He can guard up 1 through 4, and just staying with him. Just depends on who you play. Like you can put him with Tamanagi, and he does a good job of staying with him. If he gets away, his size helps. You can put him with Greasel, who they kind of match up together. They're both 6'7". It just depends on the other team and what they're actually trying to do. He was probably the best matchup for McKay, because McKay does a lot of back down stuff, which a lot of people are going to with their guards. So his size really helps us there.
Obviously,